Welcome to Superbike School UK. With the help of cornering guru Andy Ibbott and the California Superbike School, we're going to let you in on just some of the secrets that have helped turn the likes of Leon Camier and Thomas Luthi into champions.
I'm feeling that, absolutely.
Today we're at Rockingham, a pretty new circuit in the grand scheme of things, but a perfect place to learn all that the school has to teach. Coming up at part 1, we'll discover just how much we don't know about turning a motorcycle as we get stuck into the first of the school's 4 levels.
Do you have any questions on this so far?
The California Superbike School is a brainchild of one man, Keith Code. The basic idea of the school being, if you're faster in the corner, you'll be faster all round. All students, whatever their ability, start at level 1 and then have the option to progress through a further 3 levels of tuition. A successful racer stateside, Keith started the foundations of the school in the mid-70s, whilst helping other club racers improve their lap times.
I was getting an average of 7 seconds a lap improvement. I didn't really start to train people for professional racing until the end of 1980.
He started researching riding techniques, focusing on developing corner speed, where races are often won and lost.
I would ask questions, and here's some guy, you know, he's a pretty fast guy, or he's a famous fast guy, you know, and you go over and you try to ask a serious question about, so, you know, when you're like coming up to a corner, you're doing this thing, and you're like, right, you know, what, you know, tell me about that. More gas, less brake, you know, or something silly like that. And I go, nah, there's got to be something more here.
In 1980, the California Superbike School was born. The school soon began to attract attention from riders and racers worldwide. And in 1999, Andy Ibbott became the school's first British coach in Europe. The linchpin of the school's European effort, he also works with some of motorcycle racing's brightest stars.
Andy, rare breed.
What you see is what you get with Andy. He is as enthusiastic about the school element of it as you see him being. It's not fake, it's not put on.
I can still think of things that he said in the level 1 class and that come into my head as I'm riding even now, so.
Great character, fun to be around, extremely knowledgeable, great at parties. When it comes to the Superbike School, he's dedicated and he wants nothing but 110% commitment off everybody.
He wants to rule the world, essentially. He's got this big view of us going out and taking over as many countries as we can and taking the school to these places. And I really admire that quality about him, you know. He doesn't stop pushing the whole time.
Hopefully we can sort of work on it and hopefully win. It'll be the plan, yeah, I reckon.
I like wins. Wins are good for you.
I'm all right with
Good
it.
for me, yeah. Yeah, they're all right.
As a rider desperate for some genuine improvement myself, join me, Sheila Nair, as we follow 3 very different riders through the school. Journalist and seasoned racer Al Fagan is no stranger to the track. Having already completed level 1 to up his game last year, Al's now returning to the school to aid his British Supersport campaign. He'll progress through the levels to level 4, 1 full day of personally tailored tuition.
As a journalist and a racer, I've only been racing for, what, 5-6 years. But coming here, I went in with a total open mind. Last year when I did level 1, I don't think it was any coincidence I got my first 6 places in the R6 Cup, my best results in all year, so.
400-metre Olympian Derek Redmond has won gold at World, Commonwealth and European levels. However, since passing his bike test a couple of years back, Derek's become a bit of a track day junkie, with 27 days under his belt in the first half of this year alone. With the fast group proving less of a challenge these days, Derek is looking to take things to the next level and get racing.
You can get into the track day mode and you just end up going as fast as you can. You don't really look at your style and technique. People come past me and I think, what is he doing that I'm not doing? And somebody told me about coming here, so I decided to, you know, to come along, and it's been absolutely brilliant. I felt like a novice again. They completely broke everything down, and it was almost like starting from scratch, which is good. And I've been coming out bends so much quicker than I ever done, so I'm quite looking forward to going back and kicking some butt with the guys at the next track day.
And then there's me. After a break from two wheels, I'm raring to get back in the saddle and want the school to seriously shake up my riding. This time, for good.
Your job as a rider, the fundamental and basic and underlying goal is to keep the bike stable. Because if the bike feels stable underneath you, you feel confident. So your job today as a rider is to keep the bike stable. And if you only ever remember those 4 words by the end of today, you'll be a much better rider as a result of it, because you know what your job is to keep the bike stable. So we're going to have it as a mantra today. So what's your job?
Keep the bike stable.
We can break that down. Front and rear brakes, clutch, as we said, steering left to right. Okay, but essentially this is how we interact with the bike. There are only those 4 things. You as the rider, you bring something to this formula as well, if you like. Every rider on this planet, as well as using these 4 things, also brings with them 5 concerns when they're cornering. Now, what things do you assess and what things do you analyse as you come up to and through a turn? What are the 5 things that you want to be right? Speed's 1, good. Line, yeah. And we can add to that. You can add all your vision aspects to that, because essentially you're using your vision to define the line, aren't you? Grip, yes. Weather conditions is going to come under one I've already said, which is surface. Okay, now they're slightly different. I'll come to that in just a moment. What else concerns you? Lean angle. Lean angle, good. These are the 5 basics. Now, what's nice about these things is they interact with each other. If you get one of them right, the others are right. Unfortunately, if you get one of them wrong, the others also become wrong as well. For example, you come up to the corner, you're looking at the surface, and you see it's covered in diesel. What are you going to change? You change that, this, and this, aren't you? Which of these is going to help us to keep the bike stable? Steering. This is actually the only positive time where instability is a good thing, but it is an unstable point. Brakes then, stable or unstable? Unstable. Yeah. If you use them correctly, will the bike be stable? Should be, yes, should be. If you use them incorrectly? Okay, definitely unstable. So really you can't make any improvements to stability with the brakes. Gears then, stable or unstable? Unstable. Yeah, it's the same again, isn't it? If you use them correctly, the bike will be as it should be. There's a status quo. If you use them badly, then the bike becomes unstable. Throttle then. Well, there's a slight difference, isn't there? Could you improve stability with the throttle? Yes. Okay, so that's the difference then, isn't it? Does the throttle have any effect on your 5 concerns? Yes. Which ones? Okay, so that's not everything then. Who came here to go slower today? Okay, so what do you want to do with your speed? Yeah, you want to come out of the corner faster than you went in. Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. If you come out of the corner faster than you went in, do you smile more? Yes. Okay, good. Let's confess that now, all right? Okay, so we have to open the throttle then to make sure that the bike comes out the corner a little bit quicker. If we don't open it, then we don't achieve our goal with speed. Make sense? Yep. Okay.
I thought pretty much as the bike was starting to straighten up. So as I've turned, and then I've been off, and as it's turned, and I've just started to roll on, as it's just started to come up.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't feel that there was a period where you had some lean angle there and you were still off the gas or using good throttle control?
On the gas. Yeah, on the gas. Yeah.
So just in the next couple of laps, just think about the point where you open the gas. As soon as you've got your line set, try and pick up just a small amount of gas and get the weight off the front tyre and stabilise the bike.
Throttle control is one of the most fundamental things that riders have to get right. If they can't get the throttle right, then the line will be wrong, grip will be wrong, the bike won't deal with the surface particularly well, they won't have particularly good grip, and they certainly won't have the sort of speed that they'd like to have coming out of the turn. So with the throttle, although it's a very basic thing that we learn at a very early age, it is something that we need to refine to be able to get the best out of the bike and the best out of ourselves. Now, where the bloody hell does this corner go? You know, go through, Ever done that? Okay, what happens to your lean angle? Yes, it's all over the place, isn't it? Because your line's all over the place. If you want, again, if you've got a good line through the turn, if the bike's holding the line, then you'll have consistent and predictable lean angle.
Join us after the break for part 2, when I'm put through my paces on the school's steering drill. And Derek and I work hard to keep those survival instincts at bay. Welcome back to Superbike School UK. Coming up, the brakes are off, so Derek and I really have to get to grips with our throttle control. And my steering skills are put under severe scrutiny by the school's off-track specialist, Paul Debnam. The steering drill. Unlike some of the school's more infamous off-track bikes, but more on those later, the steering drill uses nothing more than you and your machine. Using the counter-steering technique from level 1, Paul Debnam showed me how the drill is supposed to look. Trained by Keith Code himself, Paul is the school's only other off-track specialist. That's both sides of the pond. Now, I know this is a weak area for me. I have years of ingrained bad habits, and frankly, the whole idea of having someone else pick these apart was making me more than a little nervous. As you can see, Paul's got his work cut out.
Something I've noticed you do is when you make the bike go to the left, your body twists to the right. And when you make the bike go to the right, your body twists to the left. Now, this is what you do on dirt bikes, but it's not suitable for street bikes, okay? On a street bike, you need to keep your weight in the centre of the bike all the time. So when the bike leans over this way, you come with it. I've got the bike, it's not going to fall over. And when the bike goes this way, the same, okay? So all the time, your centre line stays in the centre line of the bike. You go as one. Go with the motorcycle, okay? So try it again. This time, go with it, out and back, okay? In this exercise, you don't need to move your backside at all. It's just arms. Yeah, you're shifting your weight in the seat. And for this exercise, I don't care what you do on track or on the road, but for this exercise, this is just arms. So it's just push the bar forward in the direction you want to go. It was better. We are improving, and that's why we're moving on, okay? That's definitely an improvement, but I just want you to see what it's like with you stable on the seat, and just moving your arm, okay?
Success! Okay, it needs more practice, but Paul's advice has definitely paid off.
I'm finding that if I do go out on track at all, I'm not getting any better. It's just making the same mistakes.
Okay. So the reason for today, we're doing every step one at a time. So we get this step, it will be a foundation throughout the day, and we can build on that as we go.
Right.
All right. So really pay attention in class, and it'll make a difference out of class.
All right.
So, go through it again. The throttle control rule is this. Once the bike is turned, once we've got it online, we crack the throttle. That means we start it. And from the moment we start it, we roll it evenly, smoothly, and continuously to the end of the turn. Any break in that rule, the bike will become unstable. So the first part of having good stability through the corner then is to set your entry speed right. What we have is we have a sense of speed, okay? Sense of speed is something that's different for every single person. And it's made up of a bit of vision, it's a bit of what we feel on the bike, it's how comfortable we are with grip. But it's a sense, it's a feeling. Would you agree that you've got it? Yeah. Well, you must have done. If you've been into the corner too fast or too slow, something must have told you that. Yeah, it wasn't the speedo, was it? Was it? If any of you are doing that before you approach the turn, there's some problems. It really is.
To your line.
I was concentrating on not braking and staying off.
Okay, but do you know what happened when you're going through the corner? What happened to your line?
Just went all over the place.
Where are you going? Towards the outside of the circuit? Is that where we wanted to go? No. Because you're concentrating on the rider in front, you got a little bit sucked into the corner at his speed. So you're going in a little bit quick, so what do you do with the throttle?
Shut it on.
And where does all the weight go on the bike?
Front.
And which makes it run wide. All right?
Okay, let me ask you this. If you took your bike for a service, took your bike out of the shop, took it a bit easy because you got, I don't know, some new tyres on, and then you went out onto the open road and think, okay, time to give it some now. Came up to the first corner and you discovered that they hadn't done your brakes properly. And you went, okay? Would you think more about your sense of speed from that point on? Yes. How much consideration would you give it? It would be all, wouldn't it? Okay. So, would you agree then that if we had no brakes, we would concentrate on our entry speed more? Okay. So, first part of the riding format today, no brakes. How else can I free up some attention for you to concentrate on your entry speed? Don't change gears. So we're going to use fourth gear. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me just clarify a bit on no brakes. Not cast in stone. All right. If you come up behind another rider, and let's say they're on a big twin, and they go, "Boo," and you go, then maybe a little bit of brakes okay in that situation. By the end of your first riding session, I expect you to be able to have done at least one lap where you didn't touch the brakes at all. Okay? Now, this includes comfort braking or teddy bear braking. You ever done this? Yeah. It's where you come up to the corner and your sense of speed goes, it's okay. We'll do the corner at this speed, no problems at all. And your fingers go. Yeah? They just touch the brake, don't they? You know, you don't actually slow down or anything, you just kind of go, ah. Yeah, do you have any questions on this so far?
Yeah, trust me. The speed of this is sort of pretty steady and slow. We're not trying to obviously do anything silly.
How hard do you want to try? Yeah, today's about learning today, okay? I'm pretty sure that as you could go faster today, but what I'm looking at, just as a general overall, is I'm looking at about 85% maximum, okay? Why do you think we're looking for that sort of level? You can learn at that level, that's right. You start riding at 90, 95, 100%, how much do you learn? Well, you learn how to get scared and to make mistakes. But today's about correcting all those mistakes. So, okay, yeah, today the pace will be slower, but it's a school. It's not a track day. It's a school about learning how to do it properly. And to do it properly, you've got to be able to do it at a speed that allows you to cope with that. Remember, what we're doing today is we're taking your riding apart, and we're going to slowly start building it back up together, okay? So we'll start this morning. We've just done that. And as the day goes on, with each lesson, you'll find it starting to work with the previous lesson and the previous lesson and the previous lesson. And by the end of the day, the last lesson will just make it all go and click into place. Okay? Does that make sense? So, yeah, I'm asking you as a student to ride at a level that allows you to learn.
It's a full-on day at the California Superbike School. Each of the classroom sessions ends with a drill to put into practice on track. This is when the coaches can see if you've really been paying attention.
With the entry speed, then you're happy.
Because my biggest problem is exit speed. Right. Definitely. Okay. I definitely start coming out.
So you're waiting longer before
waiting longer, and I think afterwards, oh, I don't want it to come round. But I'm all or nothing rather than
That's right. Now you see the stability side of it.
Yeah.
And throttle's up.
But once we got the bike turned and back on the gas, how was it feeling?
Good. Yeah, it felt solid in there.
So is there one corner out there that you could get, I like this one, and just drive the bike all the way through?
I quite like that corner. I think probably because it's you're going uphill,
Yeah.
you can really kind of push into it.
Yeah, because so you're aware that you do actually have to drive up the
Yeah.
hill, and you are, because of the uphill
Feel what
element
you're
to it.
putting into practice.
So that was good. I must admit, when you were following me through there, it looked really good. Nice tight line, and the bike held a better line.
Next week on Superbike School UK. His ideas seem to have stood the test of time, but who exactly is Keith Code? Plus, we meet up with Al Fagan as he returns to the school to embark on level 2 of his Superbike School training.